Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. I stopped by Hobby Lobby and got the next couple of weeks projects. This one I think is going to be next week, and we're going to learn how to make homemade dish scrubbies, or I guess even body scrubbies if you wanted to. And then this one, we got 100% cotton, and I'm going to go a little bit more into that. But we're gonna make pot holders today. So my husband picked out the fall color and I picked out the Christmas color so we can have a fall and a Christmas pot holder. And that is what we are making today. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and get you started. Okay, so this is the Crafter's Secret Cotton. Something to look for if you're making dishcloths is you need 100% cotton. You cannot have acrylic or it's going to melt with the heat. 100% cotton is what you need. Now there is another type of cotton that's out there that's kind of shinier, and that's usually coated with something. I'm going to pop some pictures up here on the screen for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And we don't want those when it comes to pot holders, because again, we're dealing with heat. Okay, so I got that out of the center. The end is there. It just was tucked in. It probably would have been easier from the other side, and we're gonna get started. Pot holders purpose, there's a couple of purposes. One is to remove hot things from the oven. The other is to keep hot things from ruining a surface, right? And so when we're going to do this pot holder, I'm going to do a thicker stitch because I want to make sure I'm keeping this thick for that heat distribution. All right, so I tied a knot here, and we're just going to make some chain stitches just as long as we want the pot holder. This can be a personal preference. You just want to chain however long you're going to want it. Now my husband and I have bigger hands, so I'm going to attempt to make them a little bit bigger. It's actually been years since I have made a pot holder. So when I was trying to decide the projects I wanted to work on, some of these projects are for gifts, but other ones are for us to start getting ready for when we have our own place. And things like this are easy to pop into storage and have ready to go when I can be busy during the summer doing other things. We got rid of 80% of our stuff, and so we want to make sure, let's see, I'm trying to see how big it is compared to my hand here. I feel like I'm gonna go, I guess I hold like this most of the time, so that's probably good. I'll do a couple more stitches, but like we don't have pot holders right now, and so I thought, well, this could be something I can easily make to go ahead and be ready for whatever our future is going to hold. So we're going to start our row now, and we're doing the single crochet stitch this time. I thought about doing the basket weave on here because I think that would also be cute, but I'm just going with the single crochet stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and I wrapped it. I'm going to pop it through this first one right here. I'm going to wrap it and bring it through. And then most of mine I wrap it, bring it through two, wrap it, bring it through two. This time for a single, I'm wrapping it and bringing it through all three of them. This is not a normal stitch for me, so I have to get used to that again. The double crochet is definitely my go-to, but this is the single crochet stitch. So I'm wrapping it, pulling it through, wrapping it, bringing it through, wrapping it, bringing it through three. So I have a wrap, I bring it through, wrap, bring it back through, wrap, bring it through three. And that is our single crochet stitch. And we are just going to keep going on this until we're done. Now you could do circle, pot holders. You can do the square or rectangle like I'm doing. You can do all kinds of things, whatever shape you really want to. The thing is, you want it comfortable for your hands, and you want it to be the right material so you're not burning through, because having melted acrylic all over your hand or all over your counter does not sound like a good time to me. And so that's something that we want to make sure that we are being aware of, using the correct materials. I think before, a long time ago, there was primarily wool or cotton yarn, and now we have all these synthetic blend yarns, and you can't just grab anything off the shelf to do any project. And that's something that is important to remember. Now, I think these would make a great gift set with, if you did a homemade hot pad, maybe a homemade soap cover, or a homemade cookie mix in a jar, and then gifted the cookie mix with a hot pad and maybe a wooden spatula or something like that. I think those would make cute little gifts. All kitchen related things. You could totally crochet this into, which I probably will end up making a soap cover because I want to try one. And I have the yarn to do so, so I might as well. But you can do a soap cover, and that way you keep your bar of soap in there and you're using it kind of like your scrubby on your body. And then when these things get dirty, I mean, I would rinse it really well and then pop it in the wash with your towels, and it should be dry. You should be able to dry it as well, because it will react to the heat well. And if you wanted to add some different dimension, you can do one row single crochet stitch, one row double crochet stitch, and then go back and forth. Things like that will give you some dimension. That's what we're looking like. So I'm just going to keep going on this and keep building. And I'll bring you back here a couple of rows in so you can see kind of what's going on, and check back in with you. Okay, so we finished it off. You can see it here, and I just cut off the yarn, and I'm gonna loop it through. You're gonna see I kind of pull that tail through and pull it tight, and then I'm just gonna do that a few more times, really creating a closed end here and making sure that it's not gonna unravel on me. So I just pull the yarn through and then feed that tail through again and just keep making these loop knots. So, and I just do that a few times and then it will be done. Okay, so we are done. Let's see, it took me about an hour and a half to do. I just sat outside, the sun started coming in, so I moved back just a little bit. I probably made it a little too long, which is okay. We'll still use it. I want to see what my husband thinks of it, this width, and see if he likes it, and then decide. I probably could have gone like that wide and been fine, and maybe added another row, but I think this is going to be good. You could even make it probably a pocket and sew up the edges here if you wanted to, and so your hand goes into it, which would kind of be cool too, but I'm not going to do that at this point. I really want to try it this length. I have a hard time with a lot of these being too short, and so I made it longer on purpose. But if you don't like that, just make your square. I think the pocket idea is a cool idea. You would just stitch up here with some yarn and stitch up here with some yarn, and then leave this open. But that's it. That's a pot holder. So remember, 100% cotton, and pick the colors that you want to use. And I did the single crochet stitch, but you can do all kinds of different crochet stitches. And I would love to know, if you make one of these, what you think. And we will see you back here for the next video. Another kitchen project. We're making the scrubbies next Monday. So stay tuned for that. And then I'll have other videos for you throughout this week. So we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.